Leah's magical journey to Dreamland. Once upon a time, in a cozy little room filled with the soft glow of night lights, lived a young girl named Leah. Leah had an extraordinary gift. Every night, her dreams took her on magical adventures to Dreamland, a place where all her wildest fantasies came to life. On a night filled with twinkling stars, Leah found a glowing feather on her windowsill. It shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, inviting her on a magical adventure. Curious and excited, Leah held the feather, and it whispered, "Follow where I lead and discover the magic within." Guided by the feather, Leah walked through her garden, where the flowers seemed to light up her path. At the garden's edge, a hidden gate appeared. With a gentle touch from the feather, the gate swung open, revealing a path shimmering under the moonlight. Leah stepped into the Garden of Dreams, which was alive with colorful creatures that danced and swirled around her. Each color whispered secrets of magic and wonder, leading her deeper into whispering winds. As she ventured further, Leah entered a forest where the trees whispered the tales of ancient magic. Here, trees talked, and their leaves danced to the melody of the wind. The leaves rustled with the stories of old, guiding her to the heart of the forest. As she followed the path, Leah stumbled upon a river, its waters glowing under the moonlight. The River of Reflections showed Leah her happiest memories, each ripple a different moment of joy and laughter. As she dipped her hands in, the water showed her dreams she never knew she had, filling her with hope and inspiration. Beyond the river lay the meadow of mirth, where the green grass tickled her feet, and the flowers giggled and sang lullabies. Playful bunnies invited Leah to dance, their laughter filling the air with pure happiness. Leah danced among them, feeling lighter than air, her laughter mingling with theirs. She came to a mountain and started climbing. Soon, she reached the sky of songs, where the clouds formed a stage and the stars became an audience. Leah started singing a song of friendship, her voice harmonizing with the music of the cosmos. After singing to the contentment of her heart, Leah crossed over the mountain and continued her journey ahead. Soon, Leah reached the heart of the garden and met the wise old tree, with branches glowing with magical orbs and giving light and life to all in the Dreamland. The tree gave her wisdom of the world. Leah rested for a while in the arms of the tree and then continued her journey into the dreamy woods. Mila's Midnight Marvels, the tiny adventurer. In a large, bustling city, where tiny stars peeked out from behind soft, fluffy clouds, lived a small mouse named Mila in her cozy underground home. Mila was not like other mice who liked to stay hidden in warm, dark places like attics or basements. Mila always heard human voices above her home and wanted to go explore the city on her own. She dreamed of seeing every corner of the city, feeling the breeze on her face, and finding new places no mouse had ever found before. Tonight, when the city started to glow with lots of little lights, like tiny stars on the ground, Mila knew it was time for an adventure. She found a small hole and squeezed through it. This hole was the start of a secret path under the city, a maze of pipes that went everywhere. Mila thought of it as her very own super-fast road, one that could take her to all the places she wanted to see. As Mila went through the pipes, she felt excited. She imagined the different smells, sights, and friends she might find on her journey. I have a feeling that tonight is going to be special. She moved quickly, her little feet tapping softly on the cool, damp ground. The sounds of the city above her were low, but Mila could feel the vibrations of life all around. She knew she was about to see parts of the city that no other mouse had seen. And maybe, just maybe, she'd find something truly amazing. Mila's eyes sparkled with curiosity and wonder as she dashed forward. What will I find tonight? She wondered, eager to uncover the secrets of the city. Each pipe led to a new adventure, and Mila was ready for them all. This story is just beginning, and Mila's adventures are about to unfold in ways she never imagined. Let's follow her journey that takes her from the familiar corners of her world into the vast unknown, all within the span of a single magical night. And find out where Mila's curiosity and brave heart will take her next. Mila's first adventure took her to the zoo, a place filled with all sorts of fascinating animals. But there was one animal she was most eager to see: the mighty lion. When she found him, he was fast asleep under the moonlight. Mila had recently heard a bedtime story about a lion and a mouse, and thought it would be a wonderful idea to share it with the sleeping lion. Gathering her courage, Mila began to squeak out the story, her tiny voice filled with excitement. She spoke of bravery, friendship, and kindness, hoping to share a bit of magic with the lion. But as her story went on, her squeaks grew louder until they finally woke the lion up. The lion, surprised and a bit grumpy from being woken up, let out a big roar. Mila was so startled by the roar that she forgot all about her story. Her heart raced, and without thinking twice, she turned around and ran as fast as her little mouse legs could carry her, away from the roaring lion and back to safety. It was an adventure Mila would never forget. The day she tried to tell a bedtime story to a lion and ended up running from his roar. But even then, Mila couldn't help but laugh at the excitement of it all. After her fun visit to the zoo, Mila's adventure led her to another amazing place. It was a grand theater standing tall in the heart of the city. The theater, with its bright lights and big doors, looked like a castle from a fairy tale. Feeling a spark of excitement, Mila couldn't resist. She tiptoed inside, her heart filled with curiosity. Inside the theater, Mila found a world of wonder. There were costumes of every color you could imagine, and wigs that looked like they could tell stories of their own. Mila felt like she had discovered a treasure chest of dreams. She couldn't help but try on some of the costumes: a shiny princess dress, a pirate's hat, and even a cloak that made her feel like a wizard. Each costume took her to a new adventure, a new story. Then, Mila found herself on the grand stage, under the spotlight. She sang with all her might, her voice echoing through the theater, filling it with joy and music. She danced, twirling and jumping, letting the music guide her steps. Mila felt like she was the star of her own show, and for a moment, the theater was alive with her energy and happiness. Mila's visit to the theater was a magical experience. She had sung like a nightingale, danced with the stars, and lived 1,000 stories through the costumes. As she stepped out of the theater, back into the night, Mila carried with her the joy and the magic of the stage, a beautiful memory of her incredible journey through the city. After her trip to the amazing theater, Mila went on to the big green park in the middle of the city. It was night, and the air smelled like flowers. She saw duck families cuddling together by the water. Lying on the grass, Mila looked up at the stars and felt happy and peaceful, like she was part of everything. It was a huge place with lots of grass that shone in the moonlight. The wind made the trees whisper, and it felt like they were telling Mila secrets. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and felt very calm, like she was a part of the big, wide world. The sound of laughter and music then drew Mila towards the city center, alive with vibrant nightlife. The streets beamed with energy, and Mila, hidden in the shadows, watched in awe. She stumbled upon a corner where a kind vendor had left some crumbs. It was a feast fit for a tiny princess, and Mila relished every bite, feeling the heartbeat of the city pulse around her. As Mila Mouse hurried through the bustling city streets, she stumbled upon a small bird with a hurt wing. The bird was trying to fly, but couldn't, and was in pain. Mila knew she had to help. Even though she was just a tiny mouse, Mila had a big heart. Without a second thought, Mila approached the bird gently, whispering words of comfort. She looked around and found some soft leaves and a twig. With care, she used the leaves to cushion the bird's wing and the twig to keep it steady. The bird looked at Mila with grateful eyes, and Mila felt happy she could help. Mila stayed with the bird, keeping it company until the bird started to feel better. That day, Mila learned that no matter how small you are, you can always make a big difference by helping others. She continued her adventure in the city, ready to help anyone else in need, proving that even the smallest acts of kindness can bring happiness and pride. Going ahead, Mila found something surprising. A big bus with its door wide open, just waiting there like it was inviting her for a new adventure. Without thinking twice, Mila, the curious little mouse, hopped right in. Just as she got comfortable, the door closed with a soft whoosh, and the bus started moving. Mila's heart danced with excitement. She was going on a ride around the city. The bus zoomed through the streets, taking Mila past places she had never seen so closely. The buildings were tall, and the lights were like stars fallen to the ground. Mila felt as if she was on a magical journey, seeing her city in a whole new way. She decided to climb to the top of the bus, where she could see everything even better. From up there, the city was even more beautiful. The wind felt nice and cool, and the city lights twinkled, making Mila feel like she was part of something big and wonderful. Mila was so happy, feeling the bus move under her paws and seeing all the sights. She saw parks and bridges, and even a river that shone under the moonlight. The bus ride felt like a dream, showing her all the city's secrets. Finally, the bus ride came to an end. The door opened, and Mila hopped out, back into the night. She was a little sad that the ride was over, but she was also very happy. She had seen so many beautiful things and felt the magic of the city all around her. Mila knew she would remember this bus ride adventure forever. She hopped on into the pipes again. As Mila scampered along, her tiny mouse feet took her to a narrow alley. It was a bit scary because it was so quiet and dark. But Mila was curious, so she kept going. That's when she saw something that made her heart jump. A big, fluffy cat. The cat was sleeping, looking like a big ball of fur. Mila knew she should be quiet and careful because cats and mice are not the best of friends. But Mila was a very brave mouse. She tiptoed past the cat, trying not to make a sound. But then, oh no, Mila accidentally stepped on a crunchy leaf. Crunch. The sound was so loud in the quiet alley. The cat woke up. Its big eyes opened and it looked right at Mila. Mila's heart started racing super fast. She knew she had to run. So she did. Mila ran as fast as her little legs could carry her. She dashed past old cans and jumped over small puddles that sparkled in the moonlight. The cat started chasing her, but Mila was quick and nimble. It was like a game of tag, but much more thrilling. Mila felt a mix of fear and excitement. She zigzagged through the alley, her heart pounding with the joy of the chase. The cat was big and fast, but Mila was small and smart. She found a tiny gap between two trash cans and squeezed through. The cat couldn't follow her there. Mila had escaped. She took a moment to catch her breath in the safety of the shadows. Mila's heart was still beating fast, but she was safe now. She giggled, thinking about her narrow escape. It was scary, but also kind of fun. Mila felt proud of herself. She was a tiny mouse, but she had outsmarted a big cat. After running away from the big, fluffy cat, Mila, our tiny and brave mouse friend, felt her heart still going thump-thump very fast. She needed to find a quiet place to rest and catch her breath. So, she decided to go to a small hill right at the edge of the city where she lived. Climbing the hill wasn't easy for a little mouse like Mila, but she was determined. She wanted to see the city from up high. When she finally reached the top, Mila saw the most beautiful sight. The city below looked like a giant, sparkling blanket made of tiny lights and dark spots. It was like looking at a treasure map filled with secret stories waiting to be discovered. Mila sat down, her tiny mouse paws tucked under her, and looked out at the big city. From up here, the city seemed so quiet and peaceful, not scary at all. Mila felt like she was the only one in the whole wide world who knew about this special spot. She felt tiny, like a speck of dust, but also very special because she could see something so beautiful. The lights twinkled like stars on the ground, and the shadows looked like hidden places where adventures waited. Mila imagined what each light could mean. Maybe one was a family having dinner, another could be a birthday party, and another light might be someone reading a bedtime story. As Mila sat on the hill, she felt calm and happy. The fast beats of her heart slowed down. She breathed in the cool night air and felt very proud of herself. She had seen a part of the city no other mouse had seen before. She had her own story to tell now. Mila decided that this hill would be her secret place, where she could come whenever she wanted to think or just look at the beautiful lights. She imagined coming back here with some of her mouse friends and telling them about her adventures. They would all sit together, looking at the lights and telling stories. After spending some time on the hill, Mila climbed down the hill, feeling much braver and happier than before. The city didn't seem so big and scary now. It felt like a place full of adventures, and Mila was ready to explore more of it. And down she went through the pipes again. When she peeked out, Mila saw that she was on a farm. Under the big, bright moon, Mila met some new friends. There were big cows and fluffy sheep. They were so big compared to tiny Mila. But they were friendly and looked at her with their big, sleepy eyes, as if they were saying hello. The farm smelled like fresh hay, and it was very quiet, except for the soft sounds of the animals breathing and moving a little in their sleep. Mila walked very quietly so she wouldn't wake them up. She felt very happy and safe at the farm. It was so different from the busy, noisy city where she lived. As Mila walked around, she felt like the farm was a special place just for her. It was peaceful and calm, and she loved the smell of the earth and the hay. The horses, pigs, and chicken were so gentle and calm, and Mila felt like she belonged there. It was a beautiful night, and Mila felt lucky to have found such a peaceful place to visit. Mila loved the farm and the gentle giants who lived there. She promised herself that she would come back to visit her new friends again. The farm was a wonderful place for an adventure, and Mila couldn't wait to come back. In an unexpected twist to her city adventures, her next stop turned out to be the Grand Clock Tower. Driven by curiosity and the thrill of adventure, she wanted to climb the tower. As she reached the summit, Mila stumbled upon the tower's massive bell. Fascinated by its size and the role it played in marking time for the entire city, Mila couldn't resist the urge to get a closer look. Without realizing the consequences, Mila accidentally set the bell swinging, and to her surprise, it let out a loud, echoing bong that resonated throughout the city. The sound was so unexpected and loud that it caused a ripple of confusion and disturbance among the city's residents. Many people woke up, wondering why the bell was ringing at such an unusual time. Mila, realizing the chaos she had unintentionally caused, felt a mix of excitement and worry. She had never imagined her adventure would lead to such a memorable moment. As the bell continued to ring, Mila took a moment to marvel at the view of the city below, now buzzing with curiosity and surprise, before quickly running away, her heart racing with the thrill of her unintended adventure. Next, Mila traveled little far to find herself coming out into the neighboring woods. This forest was full of really tall trees that seemed to touch the sky, and the stars looked down through the branches. The air moved softly, making the leaves whisper secret stories. Mila could hear crickets singing. Mila walked deeper into the forest. It was like stepping into a magic place. Mila saw deer sleeping. They were a little scary because they were so big, but they also made the forest feel wild and free. Mila wasn't scared. She felt like she was part of this big, beautiful place too. It was as if the forest and all its animals were singing a song just for her, and she felt very close to the earth. The forest was peaceful and had a kind of quiet magic that made Mila feel happy and calm inside. On the next hop out, Mila finds herself in the big kitchen of a family. The moon casts a gentle glow through a window, spotlighting the prize of Mila's mission, a glorious piece of cheese, the cheddar of legends. Mila's tiny heart races with excitement as she navigates the kitchen terrain, avoiding traps and obstacles with the grace of a seasoned explorer. With a belly full of cheese and a heart full of dreams, Mila noticed that dawn had begun to paint the sky with strokes of pink and gold. She made her way back through the drainage pipes, her heart overflowing with the night's wonders. Mila had traveled far and wide, seen marvels beyond her wildest dreams, and felt the pulse of the city in 1,000 different ways. Mila learned something important that night. Even when you're small, you can do big things if you're brave. She also learned that the city is full of surprises, some a little scary, but all part of the adventure. Back in her cozy bed, Mila realized that adventure wasn't just about the places you go. It was about seeing the ordinary through eyes of wonder, about finding magic in the beauty of nature. And as she drifted off to sleep, her dreams were a kaleidoscope of all she had seen and felt, a reminder that even the smallest among us can have the grandest adventures. The end. Marina's moonlit journey. In the tranquil depths of whispering waters lived Marina, a young mermaid with a heart full of wonder. Each night, under the glow of the silvery moon, she dreamt of exploring the mysteries of her underwater home. One evening, as the moon cast a soft glow over the coral gardens, Marina heard a gentle whisper carried by the waves. It was the moon, inviting her on a magical journey to discover the night's secrets. Guided by the moon's light, Marina swam to the coral gateway, an arch of corals twinkling with glow in the dark lights. It was the beginning of her moonlit adventure, and her heart fluttered with excitement. Marina first encountered a group of plankton, performing a dance that lit up the water around them. They swirled and twirled, creating patterns of light. Marina, mesmerized, danced along, feeling as if she were one with the stars. Next, she met Tilly the turtle, ancient and wise, who shared stories of the ocean's wonders and the importance of every creature, big and small. Marina listened intently, her eyes wide with fascination. Marina then glided through a garden where fish slept among the seagrass, their colors muted in the moonlight. She moved quietly, careful not to wake them, and felt a peaceful calm wash over her. Next, she met Oliver the owl. Oliver shared stories of the night sky and outside world with Marina, sparking a sense of wonder in her heart. The journey took her to the echoing caves, where the sounds of the ocean echoed softly. Marina sang a melodic tune, her voice joining the symphony of underwater sounds, creating a lullaby that traveled across the waters. In the heart of the caves, Marina found a glowing pearl, the pearl of wisdom. It whispered secrets of the sea to her, tales of courage, kindness, and the magic hidden in the depths. Further on, Marina encountered a ballet of jellyfish, their bodies pulsing gently, emitting a soft, ethereal glow. She floated among them, feeling like a part of their otherworldly performance. Marina felt sleepy and knew it was time to return. She thanked the moon and the sea for their gifts of wonder and wisdom. Now, back in her coral home, Marina drifted to sleep and kept on dreaming about the plankton's dance, Tilly's tales, and the jellyfish ballet, each memory swirling in her dreams. Hazel, the hummingbird's new adventure. The quest for the moonlit blossom. After her incredible journey to the rainbow flower, Hazel became known throughout the whispering forest as a brave explorer. In a few days, she heard whispers of another mystical bloom, the moonlit blossom, said to shine under the light of a full moon in the deepest part of the enchanted forest. Inspired by her last adventure, Hazel felt a new quest calling her name. The moonlit blossom was a legend, a flower that glowed with the magic of the moon itself. Knowing the challenges ahead, Hazel's heart fluttered with excitement and determination. And Hazel set on her journey to find the moonlit blossom. Soon, Hazel flew into the nightshade thicket, where shadows danced and whispered. It was here she met Willow, a wise old owl who shared the secret paths through the woods leading to the moonlit blossom. Paths that twisted and turned, hidden from the untrained eye. After Hazel's enchanting encounter with Willow, the wise old owl, her journey through the mystical whispering forest deepened, and there Hazel stumbled upon the hidden entrance to the crystal caverns, a place where no hummingbird had flown before. The caverns sparkled with countless crystals, each emanating a soft light. Guided by the light, Hazel navigated the maze-like tunnels, marveling at the beauty around her. It was here she met Gem, a tiny gnome with a knack for crystal magic. Gem offered Hazel a crystal that shone like the moon, promising it would light her path in the darkest of times. Her next encounter was with Benny the Bat, who knew the night skies better than anyone. The moonlit blossom is not just a flower, but a beacon of moonlight, Benny whispered, offering Hazel a piece of the night sky in the form of a luminescent feather to guide her path. With the feather's glow as her guide, Hazel found herself in the glowing meadows, a field of fireflies. The fireflies, in awe of her bravery, formed a glittering trail to lead her toward the moonlit forest, where the blossom was said to reside. As Hazel approached the moonlit forest, she encountered a stream that mirrored the stars above. Across it stood Arya, a graceful deer with fur as white as moonlight. Arya knew Hazel's quest, and with a nod, leaped across the stream, showing Hazel the safe stones to hop on. Hazel reached the echoing canyons by nightfall, where the glow from the tiny gnome's crystal showed her the way in the dark. The canyons, known for their deceptive echoes, could easily disorient anyone. However, Hazel's new friend, Echo, a playful fox with a keen sense of direction, helped her understand the canyon's whispers. Together, they danced through the winding paths, the echoes guiding them closer to the moonlit blossom. Emerging from the canyons, Hazel found herself in the breathtaking aurora glades, where the night sky came alive with colors of the aurora. It was a rare sight. The glades were home to Aura, a majestic stag whose antlers shimmered with the same celestial colors. Recognizing the purity of Hazel's quest, Aura offered to guide her through the glades, ensuring her safe passage through the enchantment of the aurora. Deep within the moonlit forest, Hazel's path was blocked by a maze of thorns. It was here she met Spike, a friendly porcupine who navigated the maze with ease. In gratitude for her kind heart, Spike led Hazel through the maze, his quills glowing faintly with a magical light. Finally, in the heart of the moonlit forest, Hazel found the moonlit blossom, its petals aglow with a soft, ethereal light. The sight took her breath away. It was as if she was looking at the moon itself, captured in the delicate form of a flower. As she marveled at the blossom began to dim, its cycle nearing the end. Hazel felt an urge to share with her friends who had helped her reach the wonder. So she quickly fetched her forest friends along with their family members. Together, They watched in silent wonder as the blossom released tiny glowing seeds into the night air, ensuring its magic would continue. With the first light of dawn, Hazel and her friends returned to their parts of the forest, each carrying a glowing seed of the moonlit blossom. They planted these seeds throughout the whispering forest, a promise of magic and beauty for generations to come. Back in her cozy nest, Hazel rested, her heart as full as the moon. She had not only witnessed the marvel of the moonlit blossom, but it spread its magic across the forest. The adventure taught her about courage, the beauty of the night, and the power of sharing magic with the world. Hazel's tale of the moonlit blossom became a cherished story in the whispering forest, inspiring others to seek adventure, spread kindness, and believe in the magic of the world around them.
The Painter Peacock's Palette, a story of colors and belonging. Have you ever felt different from everyone around you? Meet Lumos, a white peacock with a secret talent that made him the most extraordinary bird in the rainforest. But Lumos always wanted to look as colorful as others, so he set on a journey to find his own colors from the world of vibrant colors. Dive into his journey and see if Lumos changed his colors. In the heart of the rainforest, where the air was rich with the scent of wet earth and the sound of dripping leaves, there lived a peacock named Lumos. Unlike his brethren, whose feathers were a kaleidoscope of colors, Lumos's plumage was a soft, shimmering silver. It wasn't that he was less beautiful. He simply didn't share the typical peacock vibrancy. Lumos, however, was gifted with a different kind of magic. With a delicate brush, he could paint wonders on canvas, bringing to life everything from the tiniest ant to the grandest elephant. His art was celebrated throughout the forest, and his studio was always adorned with a spectrum of colors that his own feathers lacked. Despite his talent, Lumos often felt like an outsider, wishing his feathers could reflect the colors he so loved. He always dreamt of being colorful like his brothers and sisters. So one day, he decided to set out on a quest to find his own hue, to be a peacock as colorful on the outside as he was on the inside. So that night, he went to bed determined to start his journey the very next day. Lumos set out at dawn, his painter's palette in hand, eager for the world to color him as he had colored so many canvases. His first encounter was with the flamboyant flamingos, their feathers a blazing pink from the shrimp they consumed. Drink from the crimson creek, they suggested, wading through the water, tinted by the reflection of the sunrise. Lumos dipped his beak, but found that his feathers remained unchanged. The flamingos applauded his uniqueness, assuring him that the forest was a mosaic, not meant to be a single shade. Not discouraged, Lumos ascended the rainforest canopy to seek counsel from the wisest of macaws, Marcella, whose feathers were a dreamy blue. She watched the skies as her canvas, painting with the clouds and the winds. "Embrace the blue of the sky," Marcella squawked, scattering feathers in the breeze towards Lumos. He leaped, trying to catch the sky in his feathers, but they remained silver, reflecting the clouds like mirrors. Deeper into the jungle, Lumos ventured into the shadowed underbrush where the shy chameleons dwelled. Camille, a chameleon with a talent for blending, offered her advice. "Feel the mood of the forest. Let it sink into your soul," she whispered, changing from emerald to earthy brown. Lumos closed his eyes and felt the forest's heartbeat, its whispers and sighs. But when he opened his eyes, his feathers were still the same ethereal silver. Lumos journeyed to the heart of the rainforest, where the ancient trees stood tall, their trunks marked with the wisdom of ages. It was here he met Olive the owl, old and astute, with feathers as silent as the secrets she kept. "Look not for a color to coat your feathers," she hooted softly, "for your worth is not in a hue, but in the strokes of your heart's desires." Her words were cryptic, but Lumos felt a warmth within. Following the sound of thundering water, Lumos found himself at the edge of a magnificent waterfall. The spray cast rainbows into the air, a dance of light and water. He stepped into the mist, hoping for the colors to cling to his feathers, to finally be like his kin. But the rainbows simply danced around him, adorning him with a crown of light, yet his feathers remained unchanged. Weary, Lumos came upon a clear pool, a mirror to the sky and the forest around it. He gazed into the water, seeing his silver feathers glisten, surrounded by the reflection of his paintings that adorned the trees around. His art had followed him, a trail of colors that told his story. It was then that Lumos understood. He did not need to change. His feathers were the canvas, and his art was the color he brought into the world. With newfound understanding, Lumos returned to his place in the forest. He painted with more passion than ever, his art more vibrant, his strokes more confident. The creatures of the jungle came not just to see his art, but to see him, the painter who painted with the colors of his soul. The jungle celebrated Lumos's return with a festival of colors. Each creature brought a gift of pigment, but Lumos shook his head. "I am a peacock of a different color," he declared proudly, his silver feathers shimmering in the sunlight. The creatures of the jungle understood that diversity was what made their home so exquisite. They cherished Lumos even more, realizing that every creature played a unique part in the tapestry of the forest. Lumos never sought to change his feathers again. Instead, he taught the young ones of the jungle the beauty of being unique, showing them how each individual adds to the richness of their world. And so, the painter peacock's palette was not just one of colors, but of life lessons, teaching all who would listen that diversity and inclusion made for the most beautiful picture of all.